How the hell are we? How are we? I'm a little bit discombobulated. I need to change my background. I need to share my screen, etc., etc. I have way too many windows open, so let me just go ahead and take care of some of this while everybody joins us. That can stay open. Goodbye. Oh, good. No one answered my email. Because why would I want that? Goodbye. I'm saying goodbye to all my tabs, not to you guys. Fear not. That can be X'd out. That can be X'd out. Nobody wants to work anymore. Minimize. Okay, boom. There were like so many open. Now let me change my background and do all the things while everyone is in ad jail. Boom. 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 Boom, 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 boom. Wablam. Just had to suffer some ads. Okay, let's freaking do this thing. My glasses are super dirty. You're eating quesadilla. I just ate. It was actually really good. I made like a couple nights ago like a chicken Alfredo bake, but it doesn't have pasta or like any carbs in it. I don't say like it doesn't have any carbs. It's just like not a dish, like that's just not in that recipe. So it's like lots of veggies and cheese and chicken and like a casserole dish. I had leftovers from that, so I used it as like a pasta. Like I added pasta and some extra veggies and heavy cream to make it a little more saucy, and it was so good. 3 ads. Oh my goodness. You guys, I'm on my period and it's like kicking my ass. Let me just tell you, I'm like physically down bad. My hair looks good though, because I just felt like my hair was looking a little crazy, but I washed it the other day, so I didn't need to clean it. And I'm leaving for tour tomorrow, and so I just like didn't want it looking crazy on tour. And one thing that's great about my hair is you can do it once and it'll stick around for a couple days. It's a little bit uneven. I'm also trying to get better at doing it for my wedding, which I think I figured out. I have to do the curlers, chill inside, and be living an inside life for like a day. It'll lock in, and then it'll stay longer. Because when I did the curls and then went outside, they fell. But if I do them, they'll last for so long. Okay. Crazy watching this live instead of on YouTube at the gym. Wait, is Whitney from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives too? Different Whitney. Different Whitney. We talked about Whitney Levitt, who is from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. This is Whitney Rose, who is from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I did not plan this. I'm doing a show in Salt Lake City tomorrow. So if anyone here is watching from Salt Lake City, I will be in Salt Lake City tomorrow. Please buy a ticket. Tour except for the cities you canceled. LOL. Love you, but I was excited. No, I really feel bad, but let me tell you what happened. And let me go live on TikTok too. So those tour dates got booked a while ago, and here's the weird thing about tour is like they're booking the Unteachables, they're not booking me. So like I don't have a relationship with the venue, and I don't really have a way to contact the venue. Well, like I could figure it out if I wanted to contact them, and I could obviously ask Stephen and Lou like, hey, I need to talk to them, but I'm not the one coordinating it is what I'm saying. And I really debated what to do because I got invited to do some like educator stuff in DC. There's a convention and then there's some events going on in Washington DC where like educators from all over the country are going, and they invited me to like come and talk to like leaders. And I was like, okay, I really want to do these shows and they are scheduled, but I felt like when else am I going to get the chance to yell directly at the government about the things happening in schools? So that's how I decided on what to do. But I really did feel bad. And I'm trying to think of something because the show is still happening. So if you're like, Miss Redacted's not coming, I don't give a fuck. You can contact the venue and be like, hey, can I get a refund? And they should be able to help you out. If they give you a hard time, email me and I can try and intervene on your behalf. So if you don't want to come anymore, you can email the venue. That's on you. But I would really urge you to still go. Stephen and Lou put on a great show and it really will be a good time. And I am going to give Stephen and Lou some goodies that's actually on my list to do on my flight to Salt Lake tomorrow. I want to make some stickers. I'm going to have Stephen and Lou have them. So if you come out to the show, you'll get some free stickers as an apology. And then if you bought tickets to the show, next time we're there, email me. I will give you a free ticket. Like if you bought your ticket, go see Stephen and Lou. They'll be good. And then when we come back, shoot me an email and I will get you a free ticket to the show that I'm going to be at. Because I really did feel bad and I really didn't know what to do. But I'm sure you guys understand my logic because I just explained it. I don't listen to their pod and I'm still going. They are very funny guys. Like, you will enjoy it. And they both started doing stand-up like 10 years ago. Like, they've been doing stand-up a long ass time. So they are going to put on a great show. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. Let me go live on my phone. So updated dates, check my Instagram. I'll be posting more soon. I need to update my website. I'm like kind of a shit show right now. Sorry about that. Oh my God, we are going to do a stream about Mary, the Mary of it all. So let's talk about Miss Whitney Rose. Let's discuss. Let's talk. There's a lot to talk about. She's quite the person. Let's do a poll. Do we know who this is? And again, this is a different person than the other Whitney we talked about. Do you know who Whitney Rose is? Yes, deeply. Kind of, not really, not at all. Okay, and then someone said, I'm only on season 3. Should I not watch this? That's up to you. We are going to watch clips that are post season 3, but we go in order. So you can see the beginning and her backstory and then tap out if you don't want spoilers. It's been a while since we had a topic or someone I've never heard of. I'm locked in to learn. First in a while where I'm not at all person. That's what I thought. Okay, a lot of you don't know who this is at all, which is even better, even better. We've had some intense lineups recently, like Taylor Frankie Paul last week. I slept so late the next day. I was actually so tired from that. It was so good and I was really happy to do it, and I think it resonated really well with people, and I was like happy to bring attention to her story, but that was a lot. Whitney Rose is not going to be nearly as intense, but it is going to be messy. Like she is, there's a lot in her past, and I love her. Like, I love her the way that you love, like, a friend that makes mistakes, where you're just like, come on, man. Whatever, I guess. Lemur Banana, subscribe for 39 months. Thank you for being here. Great idea. Guys, she's healing. I've never seen any of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Oh, so we're having fun tonight. Yes. There is going to be some heavy stuff that comes up, but overall, she's like a very fun and funny person, and that's one thing I like about her is she can make fun of herself, and I appreciate people that can do that. But she was raised, we'll get into it. There's some heavy stuff. Mostly not heavy, but a little bit of heavy. So who is this woman? Whitney Joanne Rose is an American TV personality and businesswoman. She is best known as an original cast member on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which started in 2020. Never seen Secret Lives of Mormon Wives or Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I stayed with the OG Housewives, then got overwhelmed. Whenever people are like, I have never seen Real Housewives, where do I start? I think Salt Lake City is a great place to start because it only has currently 6 seasons. And a lot of the other ones have like 20. So like Real Housewives of Orange County is in its 20th season. New York is in 19 or 18. So is Atlanta. So that can be really overwhelming. So if someone is like, oh, I want to see what the vibes are. I never tell people to not start with a season 1. I think that people who start shows later are insane. You have to start with season 1. So I always tell people Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is gonna be a great starting place. I'm too young for Real Housewives, I think. Are you over the age of 12? Because then you're not. Actually, ask your parents. If you are 18 and above, watch it immediately. If you are between the ages of 12 to 18, use parental guidance, ask your parents. But if I was your parent, I would let you watch it. But I'm cool. So if your parents aren't cool, maybe check with them. I don't know. 25. Oh no, you're the perfect age for the Real Housewives. You are the perfect age. So Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is a great intro. And then I tell people if you like that, because I think it does capture the essence of Real Housewives, even though it's newer. If you like that, I tell them to pick a city, either Atlanta, New York, or Orange County are like my personal favorites. Atlanta raised me. I love New York. And then Orange County is the OG. So that's why those are the 3 that I offer to people. But yeah. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and Whitney is one of the founding members of the show. So because I felt like most of you were going to have no idea who this was, I wanted to start with just some of like random clips of her from the show so you can see her vibe before we get into her backstory. Because I felt like, why am I going to tell you about the childhood of someone that you've never heard of? For those of you on TikTok, hey, you have to come to Twitch to see the videos. Why? Because TikTok hates me sometimes. And that's that on that. What else was I about to say? Yeah. And it's free. You have to make an account, but it is free. one of the founding fathers. So here is Miss Whitney.
Like on this like healing journey. As I'm going through this healing journey, I'm on like this massive healing journey. I think it'd be super healing. I had a big healing session with Megan the other day, and I continue to work with my energy healer because it was really healing. On my healing journey, I always travel first class. I've been on this healing journey. Do you want to meet the Hills, Whitney?
So she's always healing. She wants to heal. And that's one thing I love about her is me and her share the trait that if there is tension or something going on, I physically have to talk about it. Like, that is a common thread with Whitney, is if there's gossip or things happening, she's like, we need to talk about our feelings. She's like, you're upset, I'm upset, she's upset, we need to talk about it. And I'm the same way. Like, if something's going on, I have to talk about it. Like, I feel like my skin is, like, crawling until I talk about it. Having unresolved tension makes me so uncomfortable, and I can't handle people that are passive-aggressive because I'm very direct. So if someone's being passive-aggressive to me, I'm like, I know you're mad at me. What did I do? I want to fix it. And I feel like she's the same way, and that's why I just kind of have a soft spot for her, even though she's messy as fuck.
Point your finger at me. Turn your finger back at you. Get your finger out of my face.
And that's what I mean when I say she's funny. Like, she's actively in a brawl with Lisa Barlow, pointing at her, and then when Lisa Barlow says stop pointing, she goes... I just think she's a funny time. So she was born, Whitney Joanne Lesh is her maiden name. She was born in 1986. Her dad is Steve and her mom is Jolene. And she has 3 half siblings, and her and another woman from the show who I talked about on here, Heather Gay, are distant third cousins. They didn't realize this till they were adults and became friends and realized they were cousins. And she is the descendant of a guy who worked as a bodyguard for Joseph Smith. So she is super Mormon. She grew up in Utah. Very Mormon. Mormon disclaimer. Let's talk about Mormonism. This we talked about, this is literally the same text from the other night, but Mormonism is a religion. It's new as fuck. Mormonism is like only a couple hundred years old. It was invented in America. They were like, Jesus came to New York and told me a bunch of stuff. And I am a firm believer that Mormonism is a child abuse cult. Mormonism from the start has abused women and children and has continued to abuse women and children the whole time. That's the point of it, to me, in my perspective. Like, a lot of devout Mormons are very kind and good and ethical people, and they will say it's not about that, and I think a lot of people within the church believe that. But from my perspective, the church was created where someone wanted to be able to have tons of underage wives, so child brides, and then the church continued that cycle and built infrastructure to protect predators. They have very legitimate infrastructure to protect predators, to where if someone in their organization reports a predator, that person is legally protected and protected by the church. Like, that is not something I'm making up. That's not a conspiracy. That is like a well-documented fact about the Mormon church. So I believe it is a cult of abuse. Lots of people in it, I think, are very good people who have been led astray, who are born into it, but ultimately that's what it is to me. So Mormonism, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, promotes traditional gender roles, and many critics point to why this is harmful to women. Men hold all priesthood authority, meaning only men lead the church, so they make the rules and they govern the congregation. Women cannot lead anything. Oh, and the Mormon church takes a ton of money from their members, but that's all religions to me. So women are always supervised and guided by men, and young women face heavy pressure to get married young, leave careers, and have large families. This is a very strict path and often prevents women from establishing an independent identity, living alone, getting an education, career, their own bank account, their own personality, etc., etc. Many former members say that this focus on the family and serving the husband makes women feel burned out, anxious, and they lack personal control. And the church teaches that the husband is a spiritual leader and the head of home. And critics say this structure leads to unequal relationships where women feel forced to obey their husbands. Another important note about the Mormon church: you have to be married to get into heaven. I think that is not talked about nearly enough. There is, in their faith, like, you go to heaven to like your planet or whatever to be with everyone forever, and you have to be married to get into there. Not if you're a man. I think single men and divorced men can come in, but for a woman you have to be like with your husband, and if you leave your husband you still go to heaven with him unless the church like excommunicates you and unseals your marriage. So you're still sealed to your husband even if you get a legal divorce, unless the church is like, you are free and we hate you and you're not Mormon anymore. That means you're going to your husband's planet in heaven. So think about what that does to the mind of a girl, to be raised that, to have access to the afterlife. And again, I think like all religions are cults, so this whole idea of the afterlife is manipulative to begin with, but this whole like, the whole shit is about getting to heaven and the afterlife. And the afterlife, we're gonna be with Jesus and whatever, and the afterlife and Joseph Smith and whatever they do up there, or where down there, wherever, I don't know where it is. But their whole shit is the afterlife. So think about, you're raised in this culture where that is the end all be all. And you are literally taught that it is a rule that you have to be married to go to that. So marriage is going to be number one to you, even subconsciously. Yes, also your husband gets told your secret name for heaven, the only way to get through, and you are never told his secret name. Yes, they do these like, you get this secret Mormon name when you get like confirmed, you get married in the church, and it's like a secret. Like, it's all very secretive. This is definitely born from male loneliness. Winter Burning, thank you for joining us. Aw. They also believe that people of color came from Cain, who then became Bigfoot. I did not know that, and I can't even get into that. So does that mean children do not go to the Mormon heaven? I don't really know. I don't know how they account for like childhood death and illness. That's a good question. The secret name is based on the day you go through temple and they reuse them. Yes. So you have to like know your secret name, and you have to tell your husband your secret name, but he doesn't tell you. There's a lot of things about men having secrets with each other from their wives, which I personally find to be, and I don't mean this as an insult, a little gay. Like, I think you as like this, the Mormon church preaches like traditional gender. So you as like a traditional man, your wife should be your number one priority, not your weird little secret names with the homies. I just don't get it. I'm not sure about children, but I know they get baptized at 8 or 9. And then I know there's something about like, once a boy is 12, he has authority over his mother. Like, it's fucked up. They have a lot of fucked up stuff going on in there. We should do a stream about Mormonism. Let me actually add it to the sketch. Mormonism is weird. And it's not going to be organized. It's just going to generally be about Mormonism. Okay, so this is some pictures from her Instagram. I didn't, not derogatory, just noting it, exactly. I did not find a ton about her childhood, but she has shared some stuff that I'll share with you. So the first photo, top, is me standing next to my grandfather's tractor at his funeral service this past week. Spoiler alert, her grandpa dies when she's an adult. I was lucky enough to grow up next to my grandpa and grandma Robinson's farm. All of my core childhood memories here with my grandparents and cousins, causing trouble around the barn, running through the pastures, bottle feeding the baby animals, watching the horses run, making the pigs mad, and hiding the bales of hay. The second photo is of me and my brother riding with grandpa on the same tractor. My grandpa taught me how to drive that tractor. I can still hear him telling me, "Sis, you've got to learn how to do this so you can go down to Lehigh and get yourself a cowboy." I used to ride my bike to the farm every day. I loved sitting on the fence and watching my grandpa working in the fields and watching him with his cattle. It was magical. I knew if I timed it right, I'd be lucky enough to go with grandpa to the coffee shop or ride along with his truck as he tended to multiple farmlands throughout Utah. Once I had a driver's license, I would drive to my grandparents' house every day on my way home from school and honk at my grandpa out in the field or stop for a piece of bread and honey butter. So like very Utah upbringing. Unbaptized children under 8 automatically go to heaven as it's under the age of accountability. But I'm saying, like, what if a girl who's like 13 gets in like a car accident? She's not married. So does she go to like her dad's heaven still? Like, when does the marriage rule come in? And this is why I can't be in a religion, because I have too many logistics questions. Like, they tell me the rules and I'm like, well, what about this? And they're like, well, and I'm like, well, that now you didn't think of that? Like, that's, I thought of it in 2 seconds and the founder didn't think of that? I don't know. If she's sealed to the parents, then she's good. What does that mean? How do you get... this is what I mean. As a young girl, it's probably really stressful to be Mormon. Even though Whitney's on the farm, she's stressed about being Mormon. Maybe that's why you need to be there. These relationships need to be questioned. Okay, so anyway, once she had her driver's license, she is going around, blah, 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 blah. I can still see my mom and grandma using irrigation pipes to get the cows back behind the fence. These memories both make me laugh and cry. Despite all the hard times as a child, I had some pretty good ones too. I will always honor my family legacy that helped build Utah into what it is today. The hard work and sacrifice that my ancestors endured has laid the path for me to walk today. My grandpa is my hero. He always made me feel like I was the most important person in the world. I'm going to miss him deeply, but I know that he is still in my blood, heart, and soul. I am so proud to be a Robinson. I will miss you, Grandpa, but don't worry. I will never let grass grow under my feet. I love you, Grandpa Bill. So like I said, she had a very Utah upbringing, had step siblings because her dad had kids from a previous relationship, very much farm life, but she had a very traumatic upbringing. This did not come out until later, but I wanted to put it here now.
I wanted to. Hey, Whitney? Are you okay, Whitney?
Here. Hello?
The family show up, celebrate Sharif, celebrate you. Are you okay, Whitney?
If you're on TikTok, come to Twitch so you can see the videos.
I've been on this healing journey for honestly probably a year now. My childhood is blocked from like 9 to 17. And
so blocked means she doesn't have memories. So that's why I couldn't find a ton about her childhood, because she does not remember from when she was 9 years old to when she was 17 years old. That is not a sign of good things happening.
as I'm doing all this work, like memories are coming up, and it's been really hard. I was in a very abusive situation, but I like stuffed it so deep that I blocked all memory of it.
You?
Yeah.
You're brave, Whitney.
Yep.
So you see why I included it here. So she like blocked all of these memories and then as an adult realized that she was in a very abusive situation. So here is some stuff that she has said about her childhood later on as an adult. They chose horrible music for that moment. This is the impact of AI. Maybe not, but I agree with you. Not Mormon, but there was a guy in our area who was arrested for doing some horrible things to underage boys. Everyone at my church was like, I'm so shocked. I asked about him and he was all about being masculine and manly. He would go on tangents and I was like, I would have saw it a mile away. He's insecure in his masculinity. No, for real. Crazy to use the fighting sound effects for Whitney revealing her trauma. Whitney is like never taken seriously and it kind of makes me sad. So Whitney Rose confronts alleged childhood abuse that was so intense she suppressed years of memory. So she received, this is again, came out as an adult, so we're going forward a little bit, but this is what happened in her childhood, so that's why I put it here. So on the show, she was on the phone with her half brother. And her half-brother said, yeah, I do remember you being abused as a child. Because she was starting to uncover these memories and she was like, is this true? And her half-brother was like, yes, I recall that. And she is talking to her husband about it and she's like, I have no memory of any of this. And she said, I just told him how I've been doing all of this therapy and healing work. And he shared with me that he's doing EMDR. And it's they use eye movement desensitization and reprocessing as a form of memory recall therapy. The science behind this is very spotty. I'm not an expert in this. I've never done it. I don't know anyone personally who has ever done like repressed memory therapy. There's a lot of different views on it. I don't really want to get into that right now. I just want to talk about her experience. Apparently she thinks it works. I don't know. I've never done it. Deep trauma, and I would venture to guess that the church and others support people that minimized abuse if it happened that long. Very common in the Mormon church. You know how I always tell you I don't remember any of my childhood? Will told me that through his EMDR therapy, he remembers that I was actually abused, but I just don't remember it. So it was kind of her brother telling her and her doing her own therapy where she realized that she had experienced this. A lot of my childhood has been blocked out. We saw her say that. As I've been on this healing journey, I've relied on other family members to help fill in the pieces because just as much as healing that I do, there's certain things you cannot remove from a child's brain. All those memories that I suppressed are all flowing through me now, and there's just so much pain. I'm feeling so much pain and so much anger, and it feels very overwhelming to take all this on right now. She said that she saged her house, and there were so many demons in her bathroom, whatever that means. And she never really confirmed like exactly what happened in her childhood, but she just said it was so fucked up. I endured so much, but she didn't really specifically say who, what, when, where, which she doesn't have to. And that's firmly how I believe on that. Like, I think it's totally fine to be in the public eye and be like, I had horrific things happen to me in my childhood and not say what they are. You don't have to the public if you don't want to. As a therapist, repressed memory shouldn't be a thing. See, this is, a lot of people have different feelings about it. If you do EMDR and happen to recall something, that's fine. But going specifically to repressed memory therapy can often be more like hypnotic suggestion that results in false memories. Basically, the therapist needs to be very careful about suggestion. Very good summary of that. Thank you as a professional, because that nailed it. That's how I feel. So it seems like her childhood was bad. And I don't really have more details than that, but it was bad. And a lot of people in the chat are saying they love EMDR. Love, love, love EMDR, especially for trauma. I've never done it. Here's a picture of her from high school that I found online. She graduated in 2005-ish. She was born in 1986, so 2004 or 5. I'm not really sure. Like I said, she doesn't even remember her childhood. And then shortly after graduating, when she was 21, she married Samuel Burgess. So here is their wedding announcement in the newspaper. Steve and Jolene Lesh of Alpine, I guess she was going by her middle name, Jolene at this point, very Mormon, are pleased to announce the marriage. Oh, I see. Steve and Jolene. Oh, right. Her middle name is Joanne. And this is, I personally don't like when a wedding is like by the parents, when it's the parents inviting the people. I don't like that. So Steve and Jolene are her parents, and Steve and Jolene of Alpine are pleased to announce the marriage of their daughter Whitney Joanne to Samuel Mendel Burgess, son of Andy and Wealth of Burgess of Alpine. And this was in 2007 in the LDS temple. So she got married in the church like we talked about. She is getting into heaven, baby. She's going to Samuel's planet. Who the fuck is Samuel? He was a basketball player for the BYU Cougars. So I guess he's in college. I don't really know how old he is. Not a ton out there about him, but they got married pretty young. This is normal in Utah. Very strange to us. So Diva is 21. She is married. She is working. She has a job doing regional events for New Skin Enterprises. So she is basically an admin who hosts little like trainings and events for a skincare company that is an MLM, also known as a pyramid scheme. Is she in the MLM? She is a full-time employee working for the corporation. So she has a real job. She's not recruiting people. She's doing their events. So they probably recruit people at the events, but you get what I'm saying. She doesn't have a downline, etc., etc. So New Skin Enterprises is an MLM that develops and sells personal care products like dietary and nutritional supplements, and they sell in 54 markets and have 1.2 million independent distributors. So Utah has a lot of MLMs because MLMs really target women and MLMs really target stay-at-home moms, and stay-at-home moms is like a big crowd in Utah. So it's kind of like a chicken and egg thing. 21 is even kind of late for Mormons to get married. My Mormon friend got married at 18 in 3 months. Correct. 21 is adult. So Justin is a high-level executive at New Skin. Whitney is his admin. So again, she's planning events and recognition. So I'm sure when people hit high numbers, she reaches out to them, whatever. So Justin, like I said, is a high-level executive. Here is Justin's kind of resume, he actually was one of the first people at New Skin Enterprises starting in 1989. And then he left and worked a bunch of other places. This is not Whitney Levitt. This is Whitney Rose from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But Whitney Levitt's stream is on my YouTube if you want to watch it later. So he was like one of the OGs of New Skin. And then he left and went to work with Avita. Avita is a very large company. And then he went to another wellness company and then another wellness company. And then he went back to New Skin and was an executive there for 10 years. So he started in 2000. So when Whitney started in 2007, he was top dog. By that point, he was the president of North America, not the country, but of New Skin Enterprises. So he's like really, like I said, top dog, high-level executive at this company. Was one of the founders of the company, went out, had a very successful career, came back, and then helped the company scale, which is pretty common for people to do. And she gets hired as his admin to do events. And again, she did not go to college, I believe. At this time, she is 21, she just got married, and she has this fun little office job. Yay! And Justin is super cool. Like I said, Justin is a very successful guy at working at health MLMs. He is not the person peddling the product. He works for the company, and he is fucking good at that. You can see. Very successful career. He is married. He has kids. He is Whitney's boss. But the streets are talking. The streets are talking. And have we ever had less information about someone's upbringing? Can I just say I really couldn't find shit. So this is what I found on Reddit from a former coworker, and this is an old photo of them that I found. I do not know when this photo was taken. There was a retreat that was held at a giant compound of cabin mansions. Apparently this was in Hawaii, I think. And everyone on Justin's team stayed there. Other people in the New Skin company went up for a day for a meeting and presentation. The reports were that there was a weird energy. People drinking who obviously didn't drink because they're Mormon. So again, it's based in Utah, very Mormon vibes. So at these company retreats, I worked at a company retreat where a lot of people were where a lot of people were Mormon and Catholic. They didn't drink at all. They didn't drink at all. So all these people are drinking that normally are not drinking, and apparently Whitney is hanging on Justin and a lot of inappropriate touching. Like they're just kind of like cuddly at this work event. And a lot of the other coworkers were like, what the fuck is up with Justin's team? It smells like sin in here. Because they have all these Mormons at this conference, and then the executive is like all cuddled up on his admin. And for about a year at conferences, Whitney would often end up ironing Justin's clothes at hotels. She would wear his jacket if she was cold, and everyone at the company was kind of side-eyeing the situation. And again, they are married. He is married to a woman and has multiple children. Whitney is a newlywed to her Mormon king, who's a student, I guess, at BYU. So everything gets blown up when they go to Hawaii for a distributors conference. Distributors means like the people that are high level in the MLM all come together and talk about their downlines. And Whitney was full baby bump in a bikini, dirty dancing on Justin, and says, "Oh, I'm getting divorced." Crazy way to announce your divorce, pregnant in a bikini dancing on your boss. Crazy, crazy. They're the OG Coldplay couple. Yeah, kind of. And so Whitney's like, I'm getting divorced. And the Mormon distributors are like, why is he grinding on his secretary? Like, what the fuck is happening right now? And then one of the main distributors that was over China and Japan threatened to quit because they found it very offensive. So they both got fired because the CEO was like, why is she pregnant? And Justin said, yeah, that kid is mine. And then a coworker called Justin's wife and told her about the affair. Whoa. Whoa. Just watch the Jesse Draper stream. Wildly similar. Pregnant, divorced, announced with a new man. Literally, like, whoa. 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 They could not keep Diva from living. Diva said, I'm in Hawaii. So this stream went batshit so quickly. No, it really did. And I really didn't even warn you. Like, we just went straight into it. Straight into it. And again, think about who this is. This is like Miss Utah, Miss Mormon, married, husband goes to BYU, works at the MLM. Like, she is Miss Utah. And then she says, boom, I fucked my boss, I'm pregnant, I'm getting divorced, we're in Hawaii, bitches. And that's literally what happened. Damn, when the Mormons cause a scandal, they really go for it. No, they for real do. So Justin doesn't even tell his own wife, apparently. Someone that he works with calls the wife and tells her. And so Justin gets kicked out of his house and marries Whitney within weeks of his wife kicking him out of the house. Within weeks. So someone from New Skin was the officiant, which is crazy. And again, this is from a former coworker on Reddit, so it could be a lie, but all the timeline lined up. Like, I checked the LinkedIns, I checked the baby announcements, like I checked the wedding. It all lines up to what this person is saying, but I didn't work there, so I don't know. Is this guy Mormon also? Yes, they are both Mormon. I don't know if he is as like true Mormon, but they are both Mormon. His family's Mormon as well. So someone from New Skin allegedly was their officiant. Justin was actually leadership in the LDS church and was excommunicated. And apparently they're not actually rich, but I don't really care that much about that. And this person that used to work with them said, I actually think they seem to be in love, and the affair to me isn't shocking, but I thought the tea was still fun. So, goddamn. Too many Jesse Draper and Whitney Leavitt similarities. No, for real. Like, it's Utah summer, you guys. I told you guys it was going to be Utah summer, and here we are, Utah summer. So, like I said, that is... How old is she here? At this point, 22. 22, 23, and he is 40. So not great. Not great. So again, he is a 40-year-old married man with 3 children who has impregnated his 22-year-old assistant. And they're in love. And they're in love. And mind you, the 22-year-old assistant does not remember her entire childhood and doesn't know why at this point. So we're off to a flying start, is what I'm trying to say. Every Mormon girl who gets caught up cheating just really proves she should have been in the club. That's how I feel about this. Like, to her, no judgment. No judgment. Because when you're 22... Yeah, fuck your boss who sucks. Like, that's learning, baby. That's living. If you are 22 and you hook up with your hot old boss, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you. Like, this is a safe space for you. Like, if you are 22 and you're hooking up with your boss, whatever, man. Whatever. Like, have fun. Literally have fun. Use protection. But have fun. If you are a 40-year-old married father and you are fucking your 22-year-old employee, I want to investigate you. I want to see your search history. I want you followed. I want you brought to the town square and tomatoes thrown at you. Like, genuinely, what's wrong with you? Like, what's actually wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why are you doing that? Get away from her. Like, you are gross. That's a child. And you're disgusting. So that is the origin story of them. That is her life prefrontal lobe. Is Mormon, repressed childhood, get married, cheat with boss, get divorced, and is pregnant. Whoa. What if I'm 29 hooking up with my 32-year-old coworker, but I'm actually his boss, I think. So that evens out because he is older than you, power dynamic, but you're his boss. So it's equal and ethical. And I think you should keep doing it. I think you have the most correct takes and I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I'm glad because I feel like it's obvious. It's literally obvious. So I did cross-reference this with his LinkedIn and he did leave that company in 2010. So, yikes. Yikes. Also on his LinkedIn, he's interested in Barack Obama and Steph Curry, which I just kind of found to be funny. I don't know if he put that on there or if it just comes up. And so after Whitney gets divorced, she marries Justin in 2009. So she literally gets divorced, pregnant, married, boom. I'm not sure if she got pregnant before she got divorced or while she was getting divorced. The timeline is a little unclear there, but we know that she and her ex split up in like 2007 and 8, and she was pregnant and getting married in 2009. So very quick. I don't know if they had enough, like, they did both admit to cheating, but I think she got pregnant once she filed for divorce, but I'm not 100% sure. If he put that on his LinkedIn, he's letting the other Mormons know that he's cool with black people. So what I think it is that, like, in the Mormon church, they didn't let black people in until like the 70s. So I think like Justin had never been around any black people. And then after he got excommunicated for cheating on his wife and impregnating his assistant, I think he was like, oh my God, there's so many cool black people I'd never heard of. And I guess the first two we found were Barack Obama and Steph Curry, which I guess makes sense. If like you live in Utah, like that probably would be who you would come across, I guess. They probably eloped, didn't they? No. They actually had a wedding, which is ballsy, and I appreciate. And this may or may not be true, but I found this on Reddit. One major detail missing in the Justin and Whitney tea. The original post they're referring to is what I read you, who the coworker who was like, they were in Hawaii, they were grinding, she was in a bikini, it was crazy. What this person is adding on to that is today's earlier post, which had so much new information, had one small yet significant detail wrong. Whitney's husband wasn't a BYU football player, he was a basketball player. Why does this matter? Because Justin's brother, Dave Rose, was the head coach of the BYU basketball team at the time. Whitney's first husband played on the team. As I heard it from someone who went to high school with Whitney and her first husband, the first husband went to his coach Dave asking to help find a job for his wife. Dave asked his brother Justin to hire the player's wife, which again, that timeline checks out with LinkedIn, checks out with all these other things. Justin hires Whitney as a favor to the brother because the basketball player's wife needs a job, and the rest is history. The first husband had to keep playing for Justin's brother as a pregnant Whitney moved in with Justin. As a former Mormon, I think it's important to add two of the most well-known and prestigious people in the Mormon churches are the head coaches of the BYU football and basketball team. I've got a job for your wife as my wife. But honestly, this guy's fucking fine. Like, I'm sorry. You were married for 2 years in your 20s and you have no kids. That barely even counts. You could probably get an annulment. If you found a judge who was chill, you could get an annulment. Like, whatever. So, where was I? So the BYU coaches are very prestigious in the Mormon church because BYU like is Mormonism. It makes so much sense why Justin's family was furious at him when all of this happened. He put both his brother and one of his brother's best players in a horrible position. I heard from another acquaintance of Whitney that her first husband that she and Justin both showed up to a BYU basketball game once when they were together, and either her ex or Dave Rose had them kicked out. So was Justin or was not on the team? Justin, not on the team. Whitney's first husband on the team. This is what this person is saying. Is that Whitney's first husband is playing basketball for BYU. He says, hey coach, my wife, because we're Mormon and I'm 21 and have a wife, my wife needs a job. The coach of the BYU basketball team says, let me call my brother, Justin. Justin works at New Skin, a successful company. And Justin says, hey, I'd be happy to hire Whitney. I need an assistant. Then Whitney gets there and Justin's like, oh my God, you're fine as fuck. Let's start fucking. And then they do. And then Whitney's husband is like, but I got you that job through the basketball team, is essentially what happened. And it kills me that, like, Her first husband is the exact same age as her, and then Justin is 18 years older. She literally said, and I'm fucking your dad. And I'm fucking your dad. And I'm fucking your dad. She faked right, broke left on her basketball husband for an older man. Okay, Justin's brother was the coach. The first husband was on that guy's team. Exactly. It's giving Whitney needs to come on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives as a friend of or as a grandmother to advise those girls. And I believe that. Whitney was making TikToks with Jesse. I saw them. This is High School Musical college. Imagine there's an actual 12-year-old in this stream. Listen, if you're 12 and you're watching this, that's on your parents. Like, as someone who was unsupervised on the internet as a 12-year-old, that's on them and that's not on me. And there's worse stuff that you could be watching, honestly. So her and Justin get married in 2009, and again, they do have an 18-year age difference. Let's watch a little bit of this.
Growing up in Utah, I wanted the fairy tale Mormon wedding.
Justin.
In front of...
She is in her high school prom dress, 5 months pregnant, marrying Justin in some random auditorium of a non-Mormon church. It's in a church. I've seen a bigger picture. It's in a church, but it's not a Mormon church. That's their wedding.
About 50 people who didn't want us to be together. When we met, we worked together. So we had this hot office romance that we were trying to hide from everyone because we were both married to other people.
So that's that on that. Super dark about abuse allegations, then potentially predatory age gap relationship. For real. Like, it is like radiating. So, yes. This feels like approved them of the wrong relationship. So full. Face palms while shaking head. Jesus Christ. Hot office romance. Like, the way that she presents it, and as an audience, we're all just like, okay. So Whitney also left Nu Skin in 2009. So Justin got fired. She left. I don't know if she got fired. And then she didn't work for a while. She didn't have a job from 2009 to 2015. That doesn't surprise me. She had 2 children during that time. So having small children is a lot of work, I imagine. And Justin went on and got an equally good job at another MLM. So that tracks. I'm having a visceral reaction to the Nu Skin company name, and she is definitely not lying about having unresolved trauma. So who was Justin's wife? Who's this lady? Who is this lady? So she didn't have 2 under 25 because she had the first one in 2009 and then the next one a couple years later in her late 20s. So she didn't have kids crazy young. She had them kind of young, but not like Mormon young. So before Justin was married to Whitney, he was married to a woman named Stacy Coford. She went to BYU, and riddle me this, she also works at Nu Skin. Which makes sense about why everyone at Nu Skin hated him. Because apparently his wife was like awesome. So I don't know if him and her met there or if they went there together. I don't know, but they both worked there. She is about the same age as Justin. They have like a normal marriage. So is Nu Skin the only place to work? Just wondering. Like, if you don't want to work at Nu Skin, then what? Wait, was she not at the distributor meeting with the bikini dancing? No idea. No idea at all. So before he cheated, they had 3 kids together, Austin, McCade, and Trey, and she got remarried later. I don't know who her husband is, but this is a picture of her and her son, Austin Cash. Whenever people go by Cash, like whenever I see a white boy who's like, oh, I'm Cash, I don't, okay, whatever. If you don't work at Nu Skin, you work at JC Styles. So this is his former wife, the mother of his first 3 children. His kids were older. They were all teenagers when this happened. And I just want to say, if he does it with you, he'll do it to you. I don't want to blame Whitney for anything because, like I said, she was literally 22 years old, and I think you're allowed to fuck your boss when you're 22. Like, when you're 22, I'm not going to judge you for fucking your boss. But I do not like Justin. And that is what I'm trying to communicate with this quote, is that you cheated on your wife and like you're allowed to get divorced is the thing. And I think that's one of the things that's so insidious about Mormonism and leads to so much pain for people, is it causes things like cheating. Because I think if divorce wasn't so stigmatized, it would have been more acceptable for Justin to just be like, hey, we've been married for 15 years and I'm not into this. Let's get divorced. And then I want to start hooking up with someone young. And like, is that great? No. But that's a more ethical thing to do than to cheat on your wife. So yes, she became a stepmom to teenagers. Her stepkids are all younger than her, but not by a ton. I think she's only like 5 or 6 years older than them. So here is Justin and Whitney's wedding photo. Justin and Whitney forever, baby. It is us against the world. It is us against the world. And so they have 2 kids together. The first kid was born in 2010. At this point, Whitney was born in 1986. So she's in her 20s. And then they have another baby who was born in 2013. So, yeah. Here is one of their earlier pictures in their marriage at their daughter's birthday party. I think she's 1. It's giving father of the bride. She's giving prom queen. He's giving receding hairline. And that literally is her prom dress. So that tracks. Because they had a bit of a shotgun wedding, if you will. Did Stassi get his upper lip into divorce? I'm sorry, I cannot keep these people straight. Everyone is blonde. These are the same people. This is them at their wedding. She is pregnant. This is them at that baby's first birthday. Same couple. So they have been candid about their romance, the way their romance started, acknowledging that cheating is not something to be proud of, but they're choosing to own their story. They're owning it, baby. They're owning it. And they are not Mormon. Like, when the cheating happened, that's when they became not Mormon. I come from a long line of Mormonism. Her 4th great grandfather was the bodyguard to Joseph Smith and Brigham Young, so he's a hero in the Mormon community because he protected the prophet. So I guess you can say it's a very big deal that I am no longer Mormon. That baby looks like she has a 401k respectively. Some babies just look old. She looks like she has a 9 to 5. Some babies look like they've been here before. They look like they're over it. And they want to watch The Price is Right. Own their story. Do you, girl? Like, that's how I feel about her. So this is from the earlier days of her marriage to Justin. These pictures are from like the 2010s. I'm kind of obsessed with her. I hate to say it. If I ever go missing, I want my picture on a wine bottle instead of a milk carton. That way my friends will know I'm missing. Like, she is so millennial, and I have a really soft spot for millennials. My sister is a millennial, and she practically erased me. My husband is a millennial. Whitney, we love an age gap marriage. Yours is a little creepy, though. No judgment to you again. But she is just giving 2010s. She is giving mother in 2010s. Like, she is millennial. She has a short haircut. She has her husband. She has her 2 babies. She's looking good. She's feeling good. She's owning it. And she decides to go to college. I really respect anyone that goes back to school after having kids, because that seems really fucking hard. So she has a bachelor's of business administration from St. Mary's College in California. I believe she lived there during this time, and they moved around a couple times between Utah and California. I would love to have a glass of Pinot Grigio with her, not gonna lie. No, same. And wine gives me a headache, but I would power through it for her. So she posted this in 2016. Y'all are not ready for my hair in 2016. 2016 was an amazing year. I graduated from St. Mary's California Business Program. I was working a corporate job. I traveled to 5 countries, and I started developing my skincare line. I was raising Bobby and Brooks. I was growing out a buzz cut, got my first big tattoo, and hit all my personal records in the gym. We homed our first dog, Ricky. I'd say 2026 me is very proud of 2016 me. So, who's the husband or father in the graduation photo? That's Justin, her husband. It's her husband. It's her husband again. I'm clearly having an episode. It is confusing. Utah's confusing. So these are some of the pictures that she posted that are from 2016. I'm obsessed with her. They're on vacation with the stepkids. So you can see, like, he's a teenager and she's in her 20s. She is older than him, but not old enough to be his mother. I think she's like 10 years older than this kid. And I think of the older one, she's like 5 years older. So not that much. There's her on a plane with her 2 little kids. She is super into fitness. She has that ruby rose haircut. I love the short hair on her. She is stunning. Like, she loves a filter. Body tea. She loves to pole dance. It seems like she was like, I'm gonna own it. She was like, I fucked up and I had an affair and I love this man and this is my life now and I am owning it. And this is like the bangers, post-bangers, Miley Cyrus era. Like, I would love to get a drink with this diva. I would love to do a girls' night with this diva. Like, friend group on the pole. Like, I'm actually obsessed with her. I'm sorry. And, like, I'm sorry. Body tea. Like, what is the fitness routine? What is the fitness routine? I hope people respect the 2020 college eras like we respect the 2016 era. They won't. Here is her and Justin in Hawaii. She's literally so beautiful. And he's there. He's there, man. And Whitney said it took a very long time for their families to come around to their marriage. Can't imagine why. Whitney and Justin faced criticism, not just because they both cheated on their spouses, but because of the age difference. And they had a vow renewal in the premiere of the show where Heather admitted that she did not think Justin and Whitney would last, but they have been married. They still are married at this exact moment. They have 2 kids together, and she said, it's so hard to be in a second marriage, but I've beaten the odds so far, and it hasn't been pretty. It's been messy at times because Justin's family made it very clear that I will never replace his ex-wife. My in-laws still hung Justin and Stassi's wedding picture in their house. The reality star added that it took them 7 years to add her wedding picture to the home collection, and that the one of him and his first wife is still on the wall, as well as the first wife's new husband. Yes. Girl, you were barely in the first marriage. I don't think anyone's giving her shit about her marriage, if we're being honest. Because like I said, they were young, they had no kids, whatever. But his marriage, that was a whole ass family. That was a whole ass family of a Mormon man that was a leader in his church and president at an MLM. I think that's where the judgment's coming from. Not your little new marriage, no offense. So the way we met and fell in love may have caused heartache and pain to some, but was later followed by a greater love than we could have ever imagined. She's fine, he's evil. A marriage is a family, but it is, as someone with no children, it is a family, but I think breaking up a marriage with no children and breaking up a marriage with children, those are 2 different ball games. And I'm not going to pretend that they're not. So her and her mother also became very estranged, and her cheating and then marrying the older guy didn't help. So her and her mom don't have a great relationship. Yeah, things are not great. Family speaking. I'd be pissed at my son too. So this is something that she very briefly mentioned on the show, but she mentioned that she really wanted more than 2 kids. Again, Mormon. She said she wanted to have more children with Justin, and Justin was like, no. And Justin didn't want to have kids at all. Justin was like, I have teenagers. I have 3 kids to provide for. I do not want more children. But because Whitney was like, I've never had any kids, that's why he agreed to have 2 kids. Apparently, they literally came to an agreement and were like, we will have 2 children. And the way she explained it on the show is she was like, he didn't want to take away motherhood from me, and I didn't want to have an only child. So that's why we had 2. And so she is apparently still upset that they didn't have more kids, and she wishes she had more kids. And I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this, because, like, I think if you want to have a big family, have a big family. But if it's really important to you to have a big family, you cannot marry an older guy with 3 kids. If it is really important to you to have many biological children with your husband, you have to pick a young husband with no kids. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you just have to pick what's important to you. And that's why I think you shouldn't get married before developing a frontal lobe. You know what I'm saying? This is the same problem that always happens in second marriages and age gap marriages. Very common. So that's why, like, I do feel for her and I have a lot of empathy, because that would be really hard to, like, want children and your husband is like, no. Because I'm not good at not getting what I want. But again, like, Imagine instead of being told you were a mistake baby, you were told you were actually a transactional agreement. No, literally, is that worse? Yeah, this could make sense at 22. Her and Heather's moms are both terrible. He's old, he gets tired in the bedroom. Apparently not. We'll get into that later. But I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this. And this is from a People magazine article. She fell in love with Justin. They had this illicit torrid affair, and as a result, they were both excommunicated from the Mormon church. But Whitney later clarified that she chose to walk away. He was excommunicated. Once I developed a frontal lobe, I decided I don't want to be married. Real. Where was I? I would be more mad at my son. I wouldn't blame her since she was young. No, literally, if I was Justin's mom, I would sit Whitney down. I'd be like, honey, you should leave him. That's creepy. He was your boss. He was your boss. And y'all were bumping uglies and he was your boss. You should leave him. Report him to HR. Leave him. We can get you that taken care of. You should also leave your husband. Yeah. Miss Redacted, did you ever do that highlight reel promo video? Yes, I did. The long form one is almost done. You can't fire me, I quit. Mormonism. So their relationship faced a lot of skepticism and judgment, and a lot of people didn't think they would make it, but like I said, here they are. And she said she would do it all again because her life is so full. So she's married, she goes to college, she graduates, and she starts a skincare company in 2017 called Iris and Beau. This is their Facebook page. It is still up. They have various skincare products, serums, scrubs, moisturizers, etc. I started Iris and Beau because I had very bad skin. I started going to a health food store and found ingredients that were working for me, and I'd combine them together and make my own skin oils. I love the idea of having something that I created. This makes sense to me. She worked for a beauty company before. She's worked in sales before. She went to college for business. I don't think this is insane to do. People should reconsider children as people and try to have one at a time and see how that goes instead of a number goal like possessions. A lot of romanticizing parenting. Yeah, because that's the thing. Some kids are easier and some kids are harder, and kids have different needs. So it's like you can't really check box it. And no, Whitney and Justin are not divorcing. I never said that. Au contraire, I said they are still together in this current moment in time, which is the truth. So she's her skincare brand. She's a mom. Her husband still has a really good job. He's like a corporate guy. And then she starts filming Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which comes out in 2020.
God? Are you there? Are you listening? It's me, Heather.
I would drown her in the lake behind our house if she wasn't your friend.
Hey, Bonnie, Whitney. Salt Lake City, Utah is known for its magnificent mountains and world-class ski slopes.
This is refreshing after so much. So that's the show. Just to give you a vibe of the show. They're surprisingly very progressive. They really are. So Whitney on season 1, you already saw a little bit of this, but like her intro is renewing her vows with Justin and basically giving you a much more polished version of what I just said. They did not mention that she got pregnant from their affair. They just said, oh, we were married, and they didn't mention really how messy this was. They just said, oh, we met at work, we had an affair, and then we got married, is basically the way that they explained it. So they have a very lavish, it was pretty normal, vow renewal at their home, which is one of like the first scenes of the show. And they talk very openly about her relationships and how she's trying to rebuild her relationships with her family, especially with her father. Her and Heather are distant cousins, and they have been friends for a long time, and they quickly become close allies because they both have a complicated history with the LDS church. They're both divorced, etc., etc. Of course, I've listened to Baby Gorgeous. And throughout the season, Heather and Whitney are just generally friends with each other. Whitney has a pole in her house. She's such a cool, fun, young wife. Ha ha ha. So some typical drama with other housewives. She gets into it with Lisa over like Whitney feeling like she ignored her in public. She fights with Mary because Mary privately tells Whitney that she's afraid of Jen Shah. And then she fights with Jen Shah. During the Vegas trip, Jen becomes mad at Whitney and questions their friendships. Like typical housewives drama. I'm going to skip over some of that. And then these are some moments of her in season 1 and 2. I really loved her in season 1. I felt like she was so funny and so kooky and just like a riot, and I really wanted to like laugh with her. And I felt really bad because later on in the show, as she starts unearthing a lot of this trauma and she goes through some other stuff, you could just tell it weighs on her, and I feel like it brings her spirit down, and it makes me sad because I feel like watching this, I was like, oh my God, you were having such a fun time, and now I see you not having a fun time, and I feel bad. One thing on the show, she does not play about her kids. She throws her kids really cool birthday parties. She does fun stuff with them. She plays with them. Like, she does really not play about her kids, and you can tell she loves being a mother, and she loves having fun. This scene with this cake is one of my favorite things that's ever been on television. Brace yourself. 3 times a week for a couple that's been married for 10 years with 2 kids is like I feel like that's pretty good. Is that weird that I think that? I think that's a pretty, like, most couples would be like, oh.
Pioneers. They settled you.
Okay, so you get her vibe. Isn't Jesse related to him too? I think so. So Whitney wants to talk about our feelings and heal. That is a frequent comment of hers, that she wants them to discuss issues openly instead of letting gossip spread behind the scenes. And she develops a reputation for revealing information that others would prefer be kept private. And she is seen as an instigator and a lot of times a pot stirrer for gossiping. But she's like, she said this and I want to know how you feel because I don't want you to be upset. Like, it's a lot about feelings to her. Who was coming after Joseph Smith? The U.S. government, because they did not like polygamy and the fact that he had a ton of underage wives. Rare U.S. government W. So at the reunion, Whitney defends her decision to tell people about each other's gossiping, saying that transparency is preferable to secret gossip. And in season 1, we also see her rebrand Iris and Beau. So Iris and Beau becomes Wild Rose Beauty because she wanted it to be better branded for her. And her name recognition, which I understand. We see her on the show doing photo shoots for it, spending lots of money. And on season 1, Whitney's dad is on the show a lot. So to catch you up, she had a rough childhood. We don't really know what happened at this point. We don't know she had a rough childhood. Her and her mom are very estranged, partially because she had an affair. Her and her dad are rebuilding their relationship. And here is him on season 1. Mr. Scene Hair is her drugs to self-medicate. Rose further explained that it was hard for him to get help because of their religion, where do they view addiction as a consequence of your choices. And Whitney and her husband paid for him to go to rehab, but it wasn't until that he got out of rehab that she reconnected with him after being a teenager. And she said, it really taught me that when you love someone, everyone is worth fighting for. And he has been a big supporter of her. He was at the vow renewal. He was on season 1 a lot. And he said and cried on the show and said the last thing a dad wants to do is call his daughter and tell her I'm a drug addict. So it seems like he reached out to her for help as an adult when she was already married and had gone through everything that we talked about. It's very raw, very real, helping my dad through sobriety. The time we started filming was right when he decided. He had just finished rehab, 30 days of rehab, and getting to take him from next step to rehab sober living was really, really hard. Very emotional. I can't even put it into words. You see my dad admitting that he's an addict and he needs help. I'm so proud of him, and sobriety is an everyday thing. It's not just you completed this and now you're done. We're still going through it. Whitney explained the culture here in Salt Lake is designed to be perfect, and she was really open, and her dad was really open on the show. Wasn't her dad abusive? We do not know. Later in the show, she reveals that she has repressed childhood memories of abuse. She does not say who her abuser was or how she was abused. That is not something she has ever shared. But in season 1, she is very close with her dad. They are reconnecting, and she is helping him with his sobriety. She posted this video of him in 2020. So proud of my father for sharing his journey in battling addiction. I'll always be my daddy's girl. And she said, I'm going through a big moment or a big journey with my father, and this moment with him that really, it was profound and deep and reminded me that this process is worth the highs and lows. She said that he has been in an ongoing cycle with his addiction, and this is the first time he's been really trying to actually break it. And yes, he was juggling. It was a video in her kitchen, and he was juggling fruit. There's a moment where I'm with my father and my children, and I'm seeing him interact with them the way that I knew my dad growing up. Because again, her dad, as far as she said, all good until he started dealing with addiction when she was a teenager. It's actually been the first time that my kids have got to see my dad for who he really is, like the fun, playful, loving man. I just took a step back and was like, whoa, this has been worth every penny spent, every tear cried to save this human being's life because he's amazing. And it really taught me that when you love someone, everyone's worth fighting for, and I'm just so glad that I never gave up and I fought for him. She shares 2 children with her husband, who admitted that filming her dad's recovery wasn't planned. But Whitney said, I went into this saying, I'm going to show my real life. And I know that addiction is a huge crisis in the United States and across the world. So I was so proud of my dad for stepping up and being willing to share his journey as well. I hope it at least helps one person to make all the drama with the ladies worth it. So I really admired her and her dad for this. And then this is an update in 2020. This situation makes me really sad, and there's a lot of unanswered questions. This is December 3rd, 2020. I don't know what the hair is. I don't even want to talk about the hair. That was a little interesting to me. I was like, okay. She seemed a little off when she said that. And then shortly after that, she revealed that her and her father were no longer in touch since season 1 wrapped. She said, it's just not a relationship that I can open that door. I can't, and he is avoiding me as well. This makes me really, really sad. I don't know exactly what happened. She has not shared every detail, but she has shared some stuff. When she said no to a private room at the Sober Living, he got very upset, and her and him had a falling out. Because again, her and Justin are paying for his rehab and for his treatment. And a lot of times at rehab places, you can pay extra money and get a private room, and you don't have to have a roommate. I would want to do that if I had the money. So apparently her dad got very angry that her and Justin were not willing to pay for the private room. I don't love that. That makes me really, really sad that a daughter is paying for a father's treatment, and you're going to have a falling out because you don't think the treatment is high quality enough for you. Not even the treatment, the facilities. I don't love that. I really don't. And as promising as their relationship once seemed, she revealed that her and her father no longer talk, and this was in 2022, so skipping ahead a little bit. I haven't spoke to my father for 2 years. I had to learn how to hold a boundary with him for her benefit, and she explained that she had asked him to leave her house, and she does not feel safe having him around her kids anymore. So that is a strong flip from what she said in 2020, where she said, I'm seeing my dad who I saw as a kid. I'm so happy to see him with my children. So she has not said he relapsed, he this or anything, but the situation seems not good. She said the last that she suspects him of relapsing. The last that she heard, he was living in the home of a deceased plastic surgeon whom she suspected of supplying him with pills. I hear from people around town, and they're like, your dad looks so good. He looks healthy. He looks happy. And she said she couldn't confirm, as she has not seen him since her birthday party a few years ago. He came and saw me for my birthday, and I never saw him again. I saw this going very differently. And she said she is no longer holding out hope for a relationship with her dad. She said it's like mourning someone that's still alive. I hope he's happy. I hope he's content. His heart is gold, but his mind is dark. And she also revealed that the boundary she decided to set was that she was not going to pay his bills anymore, because she realized that dynamic became unhealthy for her, her children, and her husband. I do not know what that means specifically, but that makes me really sad that it seems like when she said, hey, I'm not going to pay your bills anymore, this is not right for me, her dad stopped speaking to her. And I cannot imagine how heartbreaking that is for your father to stop speaking to you. As someone who has like a very good relationship with my dad, really can't imagine that. And it really is so heartbreaking. And not wanting him to have a single room seems like distrust to me, speculating, of course, and his reaction is not emotionally sober at the very least sucks. That's what someone on Reddit was saying about him, is they were like, even though in the show he was sober, they said they could tell with the way that, like, he spoke to her about money and things like that. He still had a very, like, addict mentality and was not, like, fully emotionally sober, as you said. Again, I've never, like, been in this situation, so I don't know all the terminology and, like, everything behind it, but it makes me really, really sad. So that happened kind of between season 1 and season 2. And then season 2 was shot in 2021 and came out in 2022. And this is the trailer for season. Got me is they didn't really talk about it on the show. Like, you saw, all that was from, like, podcasts and things. They just kind of, like, had her dad on the show, and then they were like, oh, she doesn't talk to her dad anymore, and they didn't really, like, explain her trial. And someone had a good question. Are the housewives of Salt Lake City Mormon in the way the secret lives of Mormon wives are? I would say no, because A, they're older, and B, a lot of the women on Real Housewives of Salt Lake are not Mormon. So it's a very different vibe, in my opinion. So in season 2, Whitney admits that she was unhappy growing up as the perfect Mormon girl. I love how she says it. Like, she's very like, and then that's what happened. Like, I love how she says what everyone already knows, because there's been so many times that I don't know what's going on, and then someone says it, and I really appreciate it. So I really like her for that. And then this also happened on season 2. I have to warn you, like, I have to trigger warning. This is a sexual scene with her husband, and, like, I'm sorry that you have to watch this, but I had to watch it, and it's important, so you're watching it. Sorry. A lot of women don't even have confidence to do this in private. Like, a lot of women are like, I could never put on lingerie and, like, say hi to my husband getting home from a trip. A lot of women are not comfortable enough in their sexuality to do that and enjoy it. You should only do that if it's fun for you, is what I'm saying. But, like, a lot of women don't have the confidence, etc., to do that. So I do respect. So I know. I don't need to be here. Love is art. So it's like a sexy art thing where you have sex with the art on the canvas, then you hang the art in your bedroom, and it's like your sex canvas, I guess, whatever. Yeah, I never want to see that again. So he got fired for that. Remember how I told you that after their affair in 2009, he left that company, or got fired, and had, like, a normal career? He got fired from his job at Life Vantage because of the body painting scene in season 2. So, sex with Whitney getting you fired twice. Like, you managed to get fired for sex with your wife. Like, the first time you cheated on your wife with your employee and got fired. But the second time it was with your wife. It's so funny to me. I'm sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. Imagine being in the room for that meeting. Like, he was too old for the internet safety courses. If I had a nickel. You can't sue Bravo. You signed a bunch of stuff and you did the scene. Like, they know what the scene is before they do it. Like, this is so funny to me that he got fired for that. Like, I know it's not funny, but do you think they had the video queued up? His digital footprint is insane. It's only that. Imagine AR turning an iPad over and that scene is pulled up. Do you know what Life Vantage is? It's another MLM. His whole career is working in the corporate offices of health and beauty pyramid schemes. It's a siren. I don't know if you can hear it. I swear, Justin likes to just put on a show at this point. So what they said on the show is that he got fired for the paint stuff, but I found on Reddit that before Bravo and this MLM brand, Whitney, like we knew, had Iris and Beau, and then she turned Iris and Beau into Wild Rose Beauty. We know this. And Whitney has said on the show that she and Justin put in money on the rebrand. So her and Justin invested their personal money into rebranding her business, labs, legal fees, marketing, photos, etc. He was still an executive at LifeVantage, which sells anti-aging products. So apparently he did not get fired for the painting. He got fired because of the conflict of interest clause. So because he was investing with technically a competitor, that's why he got fired. And the show downplayed it and said that it was because of the sexy paint scene. Funnier if he got fired for both. I could not agree more. It is funnier if he got fired for both. So he got fired for being dumb, essentially. So Whitney is in season 2. She's trying to repair her relationship with her father, but like we said, eventually decides to stop financially supporting him when he refuses treatment over the private room. She's still friends with Heather. She's fighting with some of the other ladies. And Wild Rose Beauty is a tough business. This is in 2022, her talking about Wild Rose Beauty. Load! Whitney Rose recalls uncomfortable conversations with her husband amid skincare rebrand.
What inspired you to rebrand Iris and Beau into Wild Rose Beauty?
I started Iris and Beau 5 years ago, and it has taken me this long to feel comfortable in my own skin and trust myself as a business woman and leader. So I bought out my business partner, and I'm changing the name because there's stronger brand recognition to me. I own it. It is me. It is my brand. So it's a lot. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of time, a lot of risk. I don't think people realize truly when you set out to start a skincare line, because I developed the line from scratch, from nothing. Concepted the entire line, the name. I had to go find customers. I have affiliates who sell for me. To see what I've accomplished over the 5 years is truly amazing, and I want to honor that. And that's really what the rebrand is all about, is celebrating my success and me branching out into the world on my own without a business partner. The hardest part about all of this is the financial side of it. I've applied to do $1 million line of credit. I have 0 investors. I have 0 debt. I have bootstrapped this entire thing. I have self-funded my business, and Justin is my biggest investor. Even though it is our money, I was a stay-at-home mom. I mean, I would
the
work,
multiple cuts to Heather just nodding is sending me
the significant money, and for him to take our nest egg and invest it in me. I mean, this man, all of his savings, all of our extra money, everything we have, he has poured into me and my business. And truly, until this year, he's had nothing to do with it. Like, he's just allowed me to go out and...
She said, yes, I am active listening. Yes, I hear you.
This big ambition that I had down. And so it was really hard to sit down and be like, take a step back and look at, like Heather said, how much money I have dumped into this. We've officially gone through our entire savings. And sometimes...
Oh, I have done a stream on Heather.
You're 10. I mean... I lost a lot of money with that deal. So I got into the bag, and then my lids were leaking. So I lost the deal. I lost our entire savings. And to sit down with Justin and realize that...
Sierra, thank you for subscribing for 15 months.
Maybe I really don't understand.
Heather looks like she has a secret.
Maybe I need an investor. Should I take out a line of credit so we stop hitting...
So not that Heather has a secret, but Heather is the owner, co-owner of a very successful med spa. And Heather has run multiple successful businesses. Heather ran a very successful art business, a very successful photography business, and then she partnered with someone to make a med spa. So I don't think it's that Heather has a secret. I think it's that Heather is actually a very accomplished businesswoman. So when she's hearing Whitney talk about this, she's like stressed.
Getting the family funds. Those are such uncomfortable conversations with your husband, because those are the things that are make or break a relationship. The only thing people fight over are usually money and sex, right? Like, those are the things that people get divorced over. And so it was very difficult because I felt ashamed, one. I felt like I let him down, I let the family down. And I just really wanted him to know that despite all the losses, like, I am stronger than ever, and those losses were lessons, and we're going to turn those into...
He lost his job right before retirement. They have 5 kids, and now Bravo's their only income.
Now, but Justin is the most supportive husband. He has my back, like, even when, quite honestly, he probably shouldn't.
People also get divorced over their partner fucking their boss.
To navigate. I'm the heartbeat of my family. If I'm not doing it, it's not going to get done. And it's really fun to watch Justin step up and do it, because that man is folding laundry, he's doing dishes, he now knows how to cook eggs. Like,
wow,
he's really
man in his 50s can now cook eggs. Groundbreaking. Unfortunately, listening to this, it's like there's a reason that this is not how businesses are usually funded. I'm loving not knowing where this is going. She's using so many words to not say a thing. So Justin is a house husband, and we're all in on Wild Rose Beauty. Entire nest egg is invested. All of our savings is invested. No one has a job other than Bravo and Wild Rose Beauty.
I have to laugh. I'm sorry. This is so ridiculous.
Like, it's a lot. Completed the YouTube to Twitch pipeline, but it said my Discord username, a therapist parking lot, was offensive. How dare they? How dare they? So now it's season 3. It's like 2022, 2023-ish. We'll only watch the beginning of the trailers. They're long. What's gonna happen? You'll see.
Retaliation is a bitch. Go find yourself another Heather Gay. I'm out.
I am done being everyone's pawn.
If you're talking about everyone else, fair game. I am innocent. We are pulling at a thread on a sweater. This is not the end. This is the beginning.
Whitney's not in this trailer a ton, so I'm going to skip it. Season 3 is when the stuff about her childhood came out. So that video, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but this that I showed you at the beginning, this is when it came out, was in season 3. 1:18, I think.
Are you okay, Whitney?
I've been on this healing journey for, honestly, probably a year now.
This is what I mean when I say her in season 3 and beyond compared to 1 and 2 is very different. You can tell something happened. And I think it was unearthing her childhood repressed memories.
My childhood is blocked from like 9 to 17. And as I'm doing all this work, like memories are coming up, and it's been really hard. I was in a very abusive situation, but I like stuffed it so deep that I blocked all memory of it.
So season 3 is when that happens. And Whitney's biggest storyline in season 3 is about her childhood trauma and her healing program, which recovered the memories of abuse. Her friendship with Heather starts to fracture. There's drama with the other ladies. And Whitney feels very dismissed. She's like, I'm going through so much and no one cares about me. Which, like, Jen Shaw's going to prison. So kind of a correct read. Her voice is different too. You can really see the difference in her between 2 and 3, like I'm sure you're seeing. In 2023, she also founded Prism, which is a jewelry company with pieces aimed at women on spiritual healing journeys. So she's still doing business. Justin is still on his stay-at-home dad vibe. She said something about how, like, oh, when he left, there was this clause that he couldn't work for a competitor for 18 months because there was like a period where he like wasn't allowed to work for a competitor, but like you literally could have done something else. And then he does eventually end up working again. But season 3, she's trying to heal. She's doing her jewelry. Doesn't have a ton of storyline on season 3. A lot of people start saying they want her to get demoted to friend of, but I don't. I like her. This is season 4.
Whoa! Here I am. Somebody rescue me quick. Nobody heard it.
the some of the clips of her. She came into season 4 determined to repair some of her friendships. The whole thing with Monica happens if you saw my Monica stream. Whitney has a rocky relationship with Lisa Barlow. She's fighting with a lot of the other ladies, but a big thing that's going on is her and her husband are having marital issues, and she is not in a good space. He's not wearing his wedding ring at work when he had an affair at work with you. Like, you know he's willing to have an affair. They have haters. A lot of people dislike them. I don't hate them, but I'm not that into their relationship either. I was wondering how everyone feels about Justin. They romanticize his relationship with Whitney way too much and refer to him as a great guy. Meanwhile, him and Whitney both cheated on their spouses and had a tacky office romance that led to a lot of heartbreak. If I'm not mistaken, Whitney has even mentioned that it put a strain on Justin's relationship with his children from the previous wedding. Their relationship seems to be centered around sex, and clearly Whitney feels she has to keep up with this sex kitten image she started their relationship with. The second she starts to have her own life and businesses and their sex life slows down, he begins to resent her and guilt her about spending more time at the house than with the kids. He also never helps around the house, according to Whitney herself, so how is he a nice guy? He's gross. Also, his dimples annoy the hell out of me. So valid. So this is from season 3, and this is where Whitney's brother talks about his perspective on the trauma, and hurt people hurt people. Siblings, her brother had trauma too. We don't really know exactly what happened. And this is someone, I'm not going to read through this because a therapist already chimed in here, but this is someone just saying that EMDR can cause people to hallucinate memories, and they feel like it was irresponsible of the therapist. But again, I don't really know what happened, so I'm not going to speak on EMDR because I've never done it. And this is just speculation, but this is just something that I noticed that I wanted to put together. So seasons 1 and 2, she was close with her dad. They had that falling out, and she was super, super estranged from her mom. And then she discovers she was abused as a child shortly after she cuts off her dad, and then she reconciles with her mom shortly after that. So I don't know what happened, but it seems like she might have been lied to a lot and manipulated a lot. I don't know what her situation was. She hasn't really specifically said, but I just found it interesting of the timeline that she was like, I love my dad so much, I'll always be a daddy's girl. Her and her dad have a falling out. She discovers she was abused as a child, and then she has a reconciliation with her mother. I just found that to be very interesting and wanted to speak on it a little bit. And in 2024, she opened up on an Instagram Live and said, so I actually don't know how my dad is doing right now, which is breaking my heart and is having me very worried. He is not responding to me currently, so I hope he is okay. And in 2024, she posted this about her mom. I love this photo because I look like my mom. As we approach Mother's Day, I can't help but think of the long line of strong, hardworking, resilient women that I come from. I think about the sacrifices they all made, the roads they pioneered, and their devotion to the family. Even though I am no longer a member of the faith, I honor and cherish the legacy of women who walked as Mormon pioneers to Utah, the legacy of the women who helped build Utah, the legacy of the women who have paved their own path. I come from a long generation of badass women, and I am proud, especially of my mom, Jolene. And at the season 4 reunion, Whitney made a comment that Monica's relationship with her mom reminded Whitney of her relationship with her dad. And she said, even my own father, Monica, it took watching for certain things to trigger in my brain of, I can't accept this. And Whitney's comment prompted Andy to ask about Whitney's renewed relationship with her mom, which popped up briefly on season 4. Prior to Bobby's birthday party, Whitney and her mom had been estranged. This might make me cry, she said before sharing that it had been 16 years since her and her mom were on speaking terms. So her and her mom had a falling out before she got with Justin. There was a good decade where, and I'm sorry, Mom, because we're in such a better place now, but I have to speak the truth. There were birthdays where my mom didn't even text me, or Christmases, and that was very hard. However, she added that things have improved tremendously. Having a toxic father and then not a relationship with my mom, for us to be able to now work on it and build on it. She texts me about the show and all the time how she's proud of me. And Whitney noted that it was huge for her mom to come to her daughter Bobby's birthday party. And Andy wondered how Whitney was able to reconcile with her mom after so many years of not speaking. And she said, we were finally able to have a very honest conversation about my childhood, and a big factor was removing my father. So, I don't know. Shit seems fucked up. I don't know what happened with her dad, but shit seems fucked up. And she's talking a little bit about her relationship.
And I really don't know how to describe myself. Interesting is my mom and I have we've come leaps and bounds. We have a long ways to go, but I have realized that I need to just see my mom as a woman who did her best. And she's beautiful and she's a great mother, and she did the best she could with the cards she was given. And, you know, there's a lot of trauma with me leaving the Mormon church and marrying Justin, 18 years older than me. Like, I put my mom through hell. I literally put my mom through a lot. I know I probably shouldn't swear, sorry, I'm working on it. It's a September goal of mine. I put my mom through a lot. And so I've, over the years, realized that I need to give her more grace and understand her perspective. And now we talk, and she comes to my kids' soccer games, and I see her, and it has been such a beautiful and healing experience for me. My biggest tip is at first, like, just...
So I thought that was really beautiful, that she reconciled with her mom. Whitney seems to be able to carry a lot of grace for whatever role her mom played in her abuse. And we don't know, because remember, Whitney's mom left her dad when Whitney was a teenager. So we really have no idea, and Whitney hasn't really shared the details of it. And it's really her business, I guess. So that was kind of like season 4 timing. I wonder if becoming a mom has changed her relationship with her mom. But her and her mom didn't talk till very recently. Like, her and her mom were not talking from before she married Justin to very recent time. So I think the dad was more of a factor, like she said. So here's the season 5 trailer. You can see Whitney's on the far end. A lot of people want her to be demoted to friend of, because she's on her healing journey.
Never in a million years, after everything we've been through, did I think that you would reach out to our sworn enemy.
I sought out proof and was given the proof.
You're recording us?
I am disgusted.
You're the biggest liar in Utah, you big fake.
You're lying about me. You're lying about me. I didn't do it to you. We were friends. How could you do this to me? This season on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Welcome. Do I look like a serious driver?
You do. I have a reservation for 8 Lisas. 8 Lisas. I love that. Do you love that? You had carbs and eating pasta? Oh my gosh!
I f***ing love this new Mary.
I ate dirt.
Oh! This is my friend Bronwyn. Bronwyn is everything you could want in a friend.
Okay, maybe we'll do a Bronwyn stream later, but just to give you season 5 vibes, let's circle back to Wild Rose Beauty. Wild Rose Beauty, they've invested all their money. Justin low-key lost his job over it. Let's get into where is Wild Rose Beauty. June 2024, Whitney and Justin decide to merge Wild Rose Beauty into a new entity and do it as an MLM. Yes, we are in Utah and we're doing an MLM. Before this, they just sold online at some local stores, and now she is doing an MLM. This will become important in a little bit. And remember that Justin has invested tons of money. He's working in it now, and he has worked for MLMs for years. So that's why he's like, let's make it an MLM. That's what I know how to do. And this is from Reddit about the business. So after losing his job, the painting, he became president at Awakened and associated with a shady individual named Rodney James. Awakened was another wellness MLM that promised weight loss formulas and supplements. The company soon suffered major leadership issues and attempted to merge with another MLM, Q Science, but failed because they had allegations about withheld commissions. So it rapidly destabilized and collapsed. When Awakened collapsed, the same executives relaunched it as Soul People and pulled in Whitney. Bravo never really talked about this. The core Awakened team reappeared as Soul, and Justin and Rodney James were co-owners. with Whitney and the executives' wives positioned as co-CEOs, and Wild Rose merged into this new company, Soul People. So Whitney did not create Soul People. She was brought into it, and her brand, her main asset, became a part of a rebooted MLM structure that needed legitimacy and visibility. So with Whitney's Bravo platform, she was a golden goose for this failing MLM. So season 5 shows Whitney as she tries to grow her jewelry company, Prism. So she has Prism, which is jewelry that she owns, and Wild Rose Beauty that is now merged into this MLM. Justin is very involved in her business, and Whitney's main storyline in season 5 is that the other women are saying that the Prism jewelry is from Alibaba. They're like, it's cheap Alibaba, and she's reselling it at luxury prices. Whitney freaks the fuck out. She's fighting with a lot of the women on the podcast. She's trying to defend the legitimacy of her business, and she stands by the belief that someone in the group is trying to damage Prism's reputation. Because what happened is they were like, online, people are talking about Whitney's buying her stuff from Alibaba. And Whitney's convinced that one of the women is putting that online. So here is season 6. Hair red because her daughter has red hair, and her daughter was really self-conscious because people were making fun of her red hair, so Whitney dyed her hair red too.
Good thing we're incognito. Ladies, we're gonna get you north.
So season 6, this is hilarious to me. This is like a bombshell that Whitney dropped during season 6 about her marriage.
We also see at one point a combo between you and Bronwyn about your approaches to marriages being younger than your spouses.
I love that I have Bronwyn to relate.
I think you and I are the same age. I think you and I are the most out of Mormonism of everybody in this group.
I'm 39, Justin's 57, and I feel like he raised me in a way. It's like I spent my entire life married. So to have Bronwyn to talk to is really cool because not everyone understands what that dynamic is like. And she has a much bigger age difference than I do.
She's like, I am a victim. There's another woman with an older husband. Oh, girl, don't say that out loud. It's rough. It feels like Whitney is learning about these patterns from her childhood and then looking around at her life and going, what the fuck? That's what happened. Is like Whitney was not healed. Whitney had not gone on her healing journey. She married Justin, and now she's just kind of here.
She deals with a whole nother level of interestingness. I wouldn't change it. Like, I don't know if I could be married to someone younger than me.
So, not just that, Whitney has been nothing but open about her marriage, and in that conversation with Bronwyn, she said that she had an agreement with her husband. My agreement with my husband is I'm not going to do anything stupid, and I'm always going to get home safe, and I'll always communicate with him. Because Bronwyn's husband was like cheating on her, and Bronwyn was like, hey, can we have an open marriage? And he was like, no, which is crazy. To cheat on your wife, and then she's like, I get it, let's have an open marriage, and then say no is crazy as fuck. So Bronwyn is telling Whitney about this, and Whitney's like, agreements have to be had. And she said, I fully understand. I went through this with Justin. But then she said, I'm not going to start a rumor about myself. It's not like we're in an open relationship. I'm confused because she said that her and Justin have had their ups and downs. And she said, obviously, with our age difference, we've talked about it a lot. If there's something I want to do, then I would bring it to Justin and we'd talk about it. The minute you break trust with the agreement, it's over. So you can't do anything behind each other's backs. You have to follow the rules, and he was doing the same. But the best thing I ever did was speak what I need and what I want. So I don't fucking know. She says they don't have an open marriage, but then she says things that make it sound like they kind of have an open marriage. I can sleep with other people, but you can't. So, I don't know. I don't know if she just means like, oh, he's a lot older than me, so we've talked about if he's decrepit, I would go out and do my thing and whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand what's happening here. And Whitney's marriage has been tested a lot recently. So we're going to finish off by talking about what is going on with Wild Rose Beauty and what is happening with her business. So in season 6, Whitney revealed to Justin that she was hurt to discover a large transfer from their bank account to one of their vendors. It just sucks because my intuition going into this knew not to do it, and I didn't listen because I never would have fucking done this. So Whitney shed light on what went wrong in the company. We took Wild Rose Beauty and we merged it into a new entity, like I mentioned, the Soul People. Unfortunately, I've made a really bad decision, and now I'm fighting to get out of ownership of this company. I'm fighting to get my name off of it, to remove me as an owner, and to get back my biggest asset, which is my Wild Rose Beauty name, brand, and inventory. And as she reminded Justin, her vision was to sell at big box retailers, but she was beginning to make progress on that front, and he talked her into going MLM. She was meeting with like Sephora and Target and other big brands that have worked with celebrities before, and Justin was like, no, we should be MLM. You all flashed numbers in front of me. I just felt like I had no other choice, but I did it because I trust you, and I'm really mad at myself. This was the first time that you believed Wild Rose Beauty could go to the next level if I did it your way. And then this is them talking about that. Oh, I forgot the whole beginning part of this is Bronwyn. Has daddy issues, duh. Her father abandoned her. She has this older husband who's finally giving her approval, who's finally believing in her business, understands the scam. I can't believe he would do this to her and put her business into an unsustainable business model like that. And call me old-fashioned. Call me old-fashioned. I've said it on this stream before, and I will say it again. If you have a young wife, it is your job to protect her. If you are going to be gross and marry a young woman, you should be protecting her assets, you should be protecting her finances, and you should be protecting her future, and you should be protecting her business. So for you as an older husband to use her business to get in your little schemy world as a golden goose is so disgusting. Because if you're who you want to say you are, I married an older man because he was a protector and a provider and he took care of me and I never had that in my life. If you're really that guy, like you say you are, protect your wife's fucking business. You are so low garbage that you took your child bride's business and destroyed it for your little fuck-ass corporate MLM career. That's very much the vibes. I'm going to skip, or no, not this. So this is that Reddit post again about the business. Watching that porch conversation makes a lot more sense when you have this background. Whitney said she wasn't being told the truth and she was being flashed the numbers. She also said Justin stepped in with his huge $1 billion company vision that she was trying to build, or she wasn't trying to build in the first place. Her celebrity and audience are an ideal target demographic used by MLMs, and her rebrand made her the perfect marketing asset, and the people around Justin would have absolutely seen that. Wild Rose Beauty, something she considers to be her life's work, she founded it like 10 years ago and developed the products herself, merged into a company with completely different goals. Then that company failed under shady leadership she barely knew. It's not hard to see why she feels like she was exploited and lost her business identity, her IP, and the brand she spent years building. From Justin's perspective, he lost a very high-paying job because of the Wild Rose rebrand. He tried to fix their financial situation by joining Awakened. Awakened collapsed. He tried again under Soul People, and maybe he genuinely believed that merging with Britney's band could stabilize everything. He probably thought he was helping. I think he's just a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? I think he's just a dumbass and saw it and was like, maybe that could work. And he didn't care enough about her to be like, this company's unstable and I do not want to harm my wife's business. I think to him, his wife's business, he didn't care enough about it to view it as valuable, to view it as something important. So, and then she was upset he paid the vendors to get caught up, basically. Now they owe vendors money. He feels obligated to clean it up, but what he doesn't seem to fully grasp is that his MLM career dragged Whitney's brand into a collapsing ecosystem that she never wanted to be a part of. He thought he knew better, and I don't think he respected her as a business owner. Me either. I think he just thought, oh, this'll work. He was treating it the way you treat other people's businesses when you do mergers. not the way you are supposed to protect your wife. And that's what I mean when I say, if you are an older husband to a younger wife, especially if your younger wife has a business, do not fuck over her business. Like, that is not a provider mentality to fuck over your wife's business. It's just another business to him, but to her, it's her baby. Exactly. And she resents him because of this. And this is just a transcript of what we already read. And she said, we have nothing, and we had to fire 30 employees. And she was very upset that the other women were talking about her business. She said, I have a business that failed. I had a husband, Justin Rose, had gone all in, and now we have nothing. And she said that there were not pending lawsuits, but she said, I had to fire 30 employees. Do you think that was fun? No. I failed at something I was really excited about that started as a massive success. She cited millions in losses, lost thousands of customers. It's so emotionally hard for me because I didn't just fail myself. I failed all my employees. I failed my customers. I failed my family. I just feel like the weight of everyone that is affected. I made a bad choice and I'm cleaning up the shitstorm from it. So I don't need my friends bringing up shit on a girls trip and rubbing it in my face. I feel so bad for her, genuinely. So season 6, her marriage is kind of a mess. She's having financial issues. She's still fighting with the other ladies. She feels like they're not there for her. That's one thing that's very consistent. I feel like the other ladies are not really there for her when she goes through really hard stuff, and no one takes her seriously because everyone else is going through hard shit too.
I loved your honesty at the beginning of the season, talking about how the jewelry line didn't go well.
The Wild Rose Beauty.
I'm sorry, well, the Wild Rose Beauty didn't go well, but then tonight, you know, you shared some stuff about your relationship and how you felt unsupported, and this is a real, you're really leaning into your honesty.
I am. I have strong feelings, as everyone knows. And I've chosen to lead this year with authenticity, completely and fully transparent. I'm not gonna fake my life, and this is what I'm going through, and
All
it's
right.
not always pretty.
Very good.
I think that's really admirable because
How much did you?
a lot of Bravo stars would try and hide this, and she's on camera crying, being like, I had to fire 30 people and I feel like a failure. And I think that that's really admirable.
Lose on the beauty line, would you say?
Oh, a lot, but
Over 100,000?
yeah,
Over 300,000?
yeah,
Over 500,000?
yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry.
But do you know what's beautiful? I have multiple streams of income. I have Prism. I have a lot of other things,
Okay.
so we're fine.
Good.
She's having a positive mentality, and she did regain full ownership of Wild Rose Beauty. She is no longer affiliated with any former partners, any outside groups, and she is ushering in a new era of independence, authenticity, and innovation. This relaunch is deeply personal to me. It's about reconnecting with what I originally set out to create, a beauty brand that empowers, uplifts, and celebrates authenticity. And she is still selling her jewelry, Prism, as well. Justin is involved with a new company. It is called BioFi. It is not beauty related and not an MLM. It is a wellness company selling supplements or whatever. And she, again, has reclaimed ownership of her Wild Rose Beauty. And this is from that Reddit post where it said, it's almost like we're watching both of them try and dig themselves out of an MLM life. So it might actually be a story of MLM rather than MLM scandal. So I'm really proud of her because it would have been so easy to just go into a hole and never do business again and be like, fuck it. I'm just going to be an influencer and a Real Housewives star. So to pay off the vendors and pay off the debts and get your company back in your name, and she's doing a new relaunch, and she's healing, and she's being our Wild Rose. And I wish we had like a happier ending to this, but I'm happy for her. She's still married. There have been divorce rumors, and she says, nope, we're not getting divorced. We're just going through hard times, and we are public about going through our hard times. I really admire her. I don't know. She's so messy, and she's made so many mistakes, but she's so nice. And I just want to have a Pinot Grigio with her. Like, I literally do. They're currently filming season 7, but they did pause filming because one of the cast members, Mary Cosby, her son tragically passed away. He suffered from addiction as well. That is an incredibly, incredibly sad story. We might do a stream about Mary one day, but it is honestly very, very heavy and very, very, very intense. So it would be a very different vibe than this one is. But again, to give Whitney the love, she is white womaning the right way. She seems like she works hard to live well. She wants to be happy. She wants to have sex with her husband. She wants to be successful. She doesn't want to hurt anybody. She wants to heal. And she is just trying her best. Speaking of Mary Cosby's son passing, this is what she posted on Instagram, which I thought was fucking insane. Soccer weekend with Brooks feels especially meaningful today as we remember the fragility of life. In memory of Robert Jr., with so much love for your family, Mary Cosby, we're here for you. Whitney, why would you be like, hey, I know you lost your son, so I'm really enjoying my day with my son. But her husband posted their daughter in a stretcher in 2024 when she was going to the ICU for asthma. So maybe her and Justin are perfect for each other. I don't really know. Her daughter's fine. She went to the ICU because she had an asthma situation. She's okay now. This was a while ago. Things happen with children. It was serious, but now it's fine. So, like, their presence on Instagram is insane. He is not a good husband, but I like her. And I think she's a fun time, and I would get a drink with her. Here are my sources. Update on our schedule next week. No stream. I will be in DC. My deepest apologies. Week after that, Men That I Hate on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We will not be getting into their backstories. We will just be talking about their crimes and why I hate them. 28th, lore submissions. You get to write in to me about things happening to you. Then we're talking about Tom Schwartz, then Jennifer Tilly, then Lindsay Lohan, then Raven Simone. So exciting lineup for August. Let me pull up our little game and then let's get out of here. This took longer than I thought, but we were having fun. We were chilling. I'm going to go ahead and end the TikTok. Good night, TikTok. Love you so much. And let's do, is there like a mountain snow one? No. We're going to do the jungle because I like the music on that one. Okay, so is the Men I Hate just all of them? It's most of them. Could you send the Discord link too? Yes. So this is a little game that we play on Nearpod where it's just a trivia game over whatever we talked about this week. It's just for funsies. It is very, very easy. I'll put the link in the chat. While you're doing that, let me find the Discord link as well because the one on my website always breaks. So it's like they're trying to gatekeep, I think. I don't really know. Invite. There you go. Here we go. Discord, Nearpod. I'll give people a couple minutes. And let me make the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City channel while I'm here. I have to pee, so we're going to be pretty quick about this. So people are saying congrats to a Quick Trippy parking lot. Where is it? I'm so excited for Jennifer Tilly. A Quick Trippy parking lot. What happened to you? I can't find your good news. Oh, wedding! Congratulations! Congratulations! That's exciting. Oh, yay. I love when people get married. I've never talked about Leah Ash. You can submit that for lore. Raven Simone for my wedding week. There it is. Raven Simone. She's been through a lot as well. You guys, I'm so excited to go to Utah tomorrow and try swig. We don't really have time for anything because my flight lands at 2 and then our show is at 7. So, like, we really just have time to, like, pick me up and get ready for the show and do the show. And then we're leaving the next day. But I'm going to swig. I'm going. I do have a show in Salt Lake City tomorrow. Go to my website, and there's a comedy tab. You'll figure it out, I believe in you. Or you can just Google Unteachables Salt Lake City, and you'll probably find it. Yes, please come to my show tomorrow. Thanks. It's going to be funny. I hope. Is it at Wise Guys? That sounds right. Let me look. Unteachablescomedy.com shows Salt Lake City. Yes, it is at Wise Guys. Here is the link. Is that a sugary soda thing? Yes, Swig is a soda shop. I'm gonna feel in the moment what I should order at Swig. I'm purposely not deciding. Can you make a video with the other guy standing in a field that's ominous? I'm not gonna make you any promises, but I'll try. Okay, I'm hitting start on the game because I have to pee and I want to get out of here in the next couple minutes. You can still join if you haven't joined. I might go to Swig twice. Do they have them in Arizona? Can I get it when we're in Arizona? We're gonna be there for longer. Who did we learn about today? So many Whitneys. Everyone for the first 20 minutes thinking that she was the same person as Whitney Levitt. Nope, two different Whitneys. I like these glasses. There's one in the airport now? Good. I'm probably gonna have to wait a while for them to come get me. Them being Lou and Steven. We're not great at coordinating transportation. We've gotten better, but it's still not good. What religion was Whitney raised in? Sorry I've been streaming for like 3 hours recently. Do you hate it? I don't think you do, but people always leave after 2 hours, so I keep trying to not do this, but it keeps happening. I'm glad it was your first time here and you had fun. Yay. Wait till you learn there are like 4 other shops. What do you mean? I need to try all of them. I'm trying to not drink soda, but I am gonna make an exception for this. My new thing is I'm not allowing soda into my home. If I'm on the road, sometimes I'll have it. 2.5 hours is fun when it's not a 2-parter. Real. What was scandalous about Whitney and Justin meeting? I love the long streams, period. The Taylor stream was a lot. So everything was scandalous about them meeting. I'm hungry. I love the 3-hour streams. It finishes my show, work, evening, and commute. The real ones love a long stream. Sometimes I have to leave, but I still like it. I go back and listen, period. That's why I put them all on YouTube. What business did Whitney start in 2017? Long stream over 2 parts. That's how I feel too. That's what I've decided. It was skincare. What is Whitney's most iconic moment? You guys, I'm really gonna try to not be late for the airport tomorrow. I have almost missed the last 3 flights I've taken. Like, I've been running to the gate as it's boarding, and I'm tired of living that way. I deserve better, so I'm gonna do better, and I'm gonna be on time to the airport tomorrow. Watch my Instagram story tomorrow. I'll be like late again. Where was Whitney's jewelry allegedly from for Prism Beauty? And I don't think she bought it on Alibaba. I think she had a bad vendor, and I think that designs on Alibaba copy celebrity designs all the time. That's what I think happened. And they probably used the same shitty vendor that she did. But I don't think she bought it from Alibaba and then sold it. I do not think that happened. Justin and Whitney have helped each other's careers a lot. Oh, 2 hours early to the airport's crazy. I'm not doing that. I am not performing in DC. I am doing some educator conference and event stuff. I'm going for 2 different events. I'm going to the AFT conference, and then I'm doing some other stuff too. I'm not performing. I'm skipping performances to advocate for teachers, unfortunately. Whitney is healing and Whitney is mothering. Meaning mother. She's a mother and she's mother. I used to work at an airport. I will never get there 2 hours before because I hate the airport. I'm sorry, I just won't do it. I can't. I have TSA pre-check. I don't have to live that way. What are we doing on July 21st? 2 hours is standard, and I'm not standard, is what I'm saying. Next week, we're skipping, and then we're doing Men That We Hate from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We have Cringe But Free, Whitney, Heather, Lisa, Jen, an MLM parking lot, Need My Now, Jean, Blobfish, Riley, Real Wedding Planner of SLC, Healing Parking Lot, 3 Cake Drops, Rosebud Baker, are you here? Saturn Cat, an empty school parking lot, On My Healing Journey, Emu, I probably sunglasses isn't good. Hike Elso, Meg's Healing J, Cash, Robbie Meta, and Katie. I only win games about women named Whitney. Any memes? Anything to add? And then I'm getting out of here. This was way longer than I intended it to be, but there were a lot of good clips of her. And she's just funny. I just like her, man. Whitney Rose, broken people everywhere. Let's start a healing journey. And she means it. She means it. And that's what I appreciate, is that she means it. She means it genuinely. Getting fired from MLMs, turning your wife's business into a brand new MLM. First husband, MLM morals, Mormon basketball. It's Whitney, bitch. Oh my God. Okay, I will see you all in 2 weeks for the Men That We Hate on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I love you so much. Enjoy your week off. I will miss you. I'll try and be in the Discord. We can watch some, we have Roni Discord. We have Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Discord. There's a lot happening in Discord. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And I will see you the following Tuesday on July 21st.